Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajadanarandana Yashodanandana Brajadanarandana Jamuna Tera Vanantari Jamuna Tera Vanantari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Jamuna Tera Vanantari Jamuna Tera Vanantari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhura Madhura Jaya Radha Madhura Madhura Jaya Prabhupada 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 Gaur of him. Jai Vishubhad Paramahamsa Pri Vrajagacharya Stotra Satya Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhai Charan Narvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Gandhi BT Founder Acharya Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Sridhar Haridas Thakur Ki Samabhata Bhaktivinoda Ki Hari Nama Sankirtan Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Tagore Premanande. All that is to be assembled devotees, all that is to be assembled devotees, all that is to be assembled devotees, all that is to Sri Guru to Sri Gauranga, all that is to Sri Prabhupada. Yeah. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Daksurandritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapalantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jita Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavam Sya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Paritana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakam Vitam Sya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabantu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kansana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Adi Priye Vamsakalpa Tirubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Ram Shaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraya. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayana Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Prayeshu Badrishu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. By regularly hearing from the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, whose praise with transcendental songs becomes established as an irrevocable fact. idam Bhagavatam nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam Uttama Charitam Shakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasyayanam Maha. The Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Granthara, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Sridham Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Sarabhyaya Namaha. Om Sarabhyaya Namaha. Om Sarabhyaya Namaha. Mukam karoti vachanam pangum gayate girim yat kripa tamaham bande shiga vinataram yat kripa tamaham bande shiga vinataram. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our Bhagavatam class. We continue from Canto number 2, chapter 6, which is entitled Purusha Sukta Confirmed, and today is 23. Yes. Yadasya nabhyam nalinad aham asam mahatmanaha navidam yat yagya sambharam Purusha vayavan rite yadasya nabhyam nalinad aham asam mahatmanaha navidam jagna sambharam Purusha vayavan rite yadasya nabhyam nalinad aham asam mahatmanaha navidam jagna sambharam Purusha vayavan rite. Yadasya nabhyam nalinad aham asam mahatmanaha navidam jagna sambhavam navidam jagna sambharam Purusha Varnasrite. Nadasya Nadyam Nalinad Aham Asam Mahatmanaha Abhidam Jagya Sambaram Yadasya Nabhyam Nadinad Aham Asam Mahatmanaha Navidam Jagna Sambaram Purusha Vayavam Rite. Yadasya Nabhyam Nalinad Aham Asam Mahatmanaha Navidam Jagna Sambaram Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. When I was born, this is Lord Brahma speaking to his son, one of his sons, Narada Muni. When I was born from the abdominal lotus flower of the Lord, Mahavishnu, the great person, I had no ingredients for sacrificial performances except the bodily limbs of the great personality of Godhead. Actually, Lord Brahma is born from Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Why is mentioned Mahavishnu? Brahma is born from the abdomen of Garbhodakshay Vishnu. First Mahavishnu, then Garbhodakshay Vishnu, then Kshirodakshay Vishnu. Sometimes they make some error. Kindly repeat after me. When I was born from the abdominal lotus flower of the Lord, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, the great person, I had no ingredients for sacrificial performances except the bodily limbs of the great personality of Godhead. Purport. Lord Brahma, the creator of the cosmic manifestation, is known as Swayambhu, or one who is born without father and mother. The general process is that the living creature is born out of the sex combination of the male father and the female mother. But Brahma, the first born living being, is born out of the abdominal lotus flower of the Mahavishnu plenary expansion of Lord Krishna. So that Mahavishnu plenary expansion is called Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. The abdominal lotus flower is part of the Lord's bodily limbs, and Brahma is born out of the lotus flower. Therefore, Lord Brahma is also a part of the Lord's body. Brahma, after his appearance in the gigantic hollow of the universe, saw darkness and nothing else. He felt perplexity, and from his heart he was inspired by the Lord to undergo austerity, thereby acquiring the ingredients of sacrificial performances. This happens actually every day of Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma, as we know, he has his day and night, just like we have also our day and night. Sometimes, I don't know if you have experience, but sometimes when somebody travels a lot, nowadays people travel a lot, they take airplane, and their body gets very tired, and so sometimes after traveling like this, one will take rest, and then he will wake up and he will not remember where he is. I don't know if that happened to you. You know, it will take some time, a little time, to know where I am and what I should do. So the day of Lord Brahma, as we know, is very, very long, billions of years. You know, how long is one day of Lord Brahma? That's explained in the Bhagavad Gita. 1,000, what is called 4 yugas. One in, like now we are Kali Yuga, started for 5,000 years ago, and Kali Yuga is lasting for 432,000 years. Before Kali Yuga, there is Dwapara Yuga, 2 times as long, 864 years, 864,000 years. So like this, the 4 yugas, they are making so many thousands of years, millions of years. So 1,000 times. So it means that after Lord Brahma, his day is over, his night is the same length, same duration. So when that next day comes, then, as mentioned here, Lord Brahma actually, he's he forgets about how to create, what to do. His birth is very special also. He is born from the abdomen, from the stem that comes out of the body of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. And he is on top of this, on the top of this stem there is a lotus flower. And Lord Brahma is, it is explained in the Bhagavatam that he comes down from this very long stem. He comes down from that stem to, it's like all dark. Everything is dark. Just like if you wake up and there's no electricity, if you wake up, it's very dark. So he comes down this stem, and as he approaches the body of Garbhodaya Vishnu, then he understands that this is like, I should not be here, because the Garbhodaksha Vishnu is lying on the Garbha ocean, and so much water and waves. So when he comes down too close, then again he goes up and sits on this lotus flower. And then he hears some sound. What sound he's hearing? He hears two words. Ta pa. Ta pa. He hears a sound, tapa, which is tapasya. He understands, oh, I should perform tapasya. So he goes into meditation for 1,000 years, some very long period of time. And then after meditating like this will probably be mentioned here, then he gets darshan of Krishna. He hears the transcendental sound vibration, which is, he hears Vedic, he receives Vedic knowledge. It's like when we are born, we are also born, we are connected with umbilical cord from the mother. We are not born on a flower, like Lord Brahma. But we are, here the point is being made that Lord Brahma, because he's born in that way, so he's part of this cosmic manifestation. He's part of the universal form of the Lord, just like we are also part of the body of our mother. Our body is made by the body of our mother. And also when we are born, we can open our eyes, but actually we don't see. We don't see properly for, I don't know for how long, for some days. And we don't understand, how many of us remember when we were like 1 day old. We only remember maybe going back when we were maybe 3 years old or 2 years old, or some people don't even remember when they were like even 5 years old. So let's see here. Therefore, Lord Brahma is also part of the Lord's body, like we are also part of our mother's body. So Brahma, after his appearance in the gigantic hollow of the universe, saw darkness and nothing else. he felt perplexity. He was confused. And from his heart, he was inspired by the Lord to undergo austerity. Yeah. He actually heard these two words, tapa, and thereby acquiring the ingredients for sacrificial performances. But there was nothing besides the two of them, namely the personality of Mahavishnu, but it's a Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and Brahma himself, born of the bodily part of the Lord. Can you get me the other copy? Bhagavatam. Yeah. You can give it. Give. Yeah, that's fine. Just give it. So this is 6:23. 7, 6:23. 6:22 and 6:23. Okay. So let's just continue the purport here. But there was nothing besides the two of them, namely the personality of Mahavishnu, expansion of Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and Brahma himself, born of the bodily part of the Lord. For sacrificial performances, many ingredients were in need, especially animals. The animal sacrifice is never meant for killing the animal, but for achieving the successful result of the sacrifice. The animal offered in the sacrificial fire is, so to speak, destroyed, but the next moment it is given a new life by dint of the Vedic hymns chanted by the expert priests. When such an expert priest is not available, the animal sacrifice in the fire of the sacrificial altar is forbidden. That is why in the Shastra it is mentioned that in Kali Yuga, because such qualified priests are not available, such type of sacrifice is not allowed. Thus Brahma created even the sacrificial ingredients out of the body limbs of the Garbhodakshai Vishnu, which means that the cosmic order was created by Brahma himself. Also, nothing is created out of nothing, but everything is created from the person of the Lord. The Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita 10:8, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate. Everything is made from my bodily limbs, and I am therefore the original source of all ingredients. So, second portion of the purport here. The impersonalists argue that there is no use in worshiping the Lord when everything is nothing but the Lord himself. The personalists, however, worship the Lord out of a great sense of gratitude, utilizing the ingredients born out of the bodily limbs of the Lord. the fruit and flowers, the fruits and flowers are available from the body of the earth, and yet Mother Earth is worshipped by the sensible devotee with ingredients born from the earth. Similarly, Mother Ganges is worshipped by the water of the Ganges. Yeah. And yet the worshipper enjoys the result of such worship. When Advaita Acharya was on the bank of the Ganges, offering prayers very loudly, calling out for the descent of the Lord. Srila Advaita Acharya was feeling that unless the Lord personally appears, then the demoniac elements in the world cannot be erased. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is described how Srila Advaita Acharya was sitting on the bank of the Ganges and offering. At that time, Ganga was passing near Shantipur. Now it's changed course. He was offering tulsi flowers along with Ganges water to the Ganga. Yeah. So just like here, the example is given that fruits and flowers. Every day we collect flowers from the different trees. They are given by Mother Bhumi. Yes. And okay. While the impersonalist wrongly concludes that he is the Lord himself, the personalist, out of a great gratitude, worships the Lord in devotional service, knowing perfectly well that nothing is different from the Lord. The devotee therefore endeavors to apply everything in the service of the Lord because he knows that everything is the property of the Lord and that no one can claim anything as one's own. This perfect conception of oneness helps the worshipper in being engaged in his loving service, whereas the impersonalist, being falsely puffed up, remains a non-devotee forever without being recognized by the Lord. So Prabhupada is pointing out the different mentality between impersonalists and personalists. So for the personalist, there is a conception of oneness, but that oneness is different from the conception of the impersonalist. Yes. And the conception, Prabhupada mentions here, that this perfect conception of oneness of a devotee means that he is one in mind and one in service with the Supreme Lord. Not that he becomes equal to the Lord. Yes, he is one in service. The essence of Krishna consciousness is seva, service. Mm-hmm. Bhakti means the science of service, the science of devotional service. And our acharyas explain how this activity of pure devotional service is even attractive to Krishna. Krishna is attracted by devotional service. Even Prabhupada makes one statement that bhakti, devotional service, is stronger, more powerful than Krishna, because Krishna is all attractive, but he becomes attracted by devotional service. Yes. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada explains that if we want to attract the attention of Krishna, then we engage in activities of devotional service that will be performed in such a way that Krishna will be attracted. Yeah. And as Krishna explains also in the Bhagavad Gita, Tesham tatata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. Those who are engaged in my devotional activities. Priti purvakam, priti. With love and devotion. Tadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Then I give to that person, I give intelligence by which he can come to me, by which he can make further progress in devotional service. Yeah. So this is only known actually to those who are personalists or Vaishnavas. This science of devotion is unknown to the impersonalists. Impersonalist means he doesn't know Krishna. because he doesn't know Krishna means he cannot establish a relationship with God. Yeah. So let's read the text again here. When I was born from the abdominal lotus flower of the Lord, an expansion of Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, the great person, I had no ingredients for sacrificial performances except the bodily limbs of the great personality of Godhead. Yeah. So in the next verse actually has no purport. We can read it. It's connected with this verse. Text 24. Teshu Jagnasya Pashava Sarva Naspataya Kushaha Idam Cha Deva Yajanam Kalas Charu Gunanvitaha. Translation: for performing sacrificial ceremonies, one requires sacrificial ingredients, such as flowers, leaves, and straw, along with the sacrificial altar and a suitable time, spring. Of course, just like every day, whether it is Mangalarati or Guru Puja, we need, this is our altar, we have altar, and we take from Mother Nature flowers and different ingredients. Those who perform Abhishek, for Abhishek ceremony, so many ingredients are needed. Tulsi leaves especially are needed. Yes. And of course, the most important ingredient, we can read the next one also. It mentions a few of the ingredients that are needed for performing yajna. Vastuni vastunyo shadasya sneha rasaloha mrido jalam mrisho yajunsi samani chatur hotram cha satama. Translation: other ingredients are utensils, grains, clarified butter, means ghee, honey, gold, earth, water, the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, and Sama Veda, and 4 priests to perform the sacrifice. Prabhupada gives short purport here. To perform a sacrifice successfully, at least 4 expert priests are needed. One who can offer hota, one who can chant udgata, one who can kindle the sacrificial fire without the aid of separate fire, advarya, and one who can supervise, Brahma. Such sacrifices were conducted from the birth of Brahma, the first living creature, and were carried on till the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthir. But such expert Brahmana priests are very rare in this age of corruption and quarrel. And therefore, in the present age, only the yajna of chanting the holy name of the Lord is recommended. The scriptures enjoin Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam kalo nasyeva nasyeva gatir anyata. Yes. Yes. Okay, let's stop here. That's a long question.
He's asking this, those impersonalists says that there is no form to Krishna. How we can tell to them?
How
We can say to them?
How we can
Say to them?
Okay, impersonalists are telling that God has no form. How we can convince them that God has form?
Yes.
Is it? It is not easy. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually, when he toured South India and other places, this is nicely narrated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. By his divine potency, by his especially congregational chanting of the holy name, and by his presentation, explanation of Vedic knowledge, he was able to convert many impersonalists. The first impersonalist he converted was in Jagannath Puri, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Yeah. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya at that time was like senior, most sadhu, but impersonalist. He had so many students. Very, very learned in Shastra. Yeah, it's not that the impersonalists they study a lot of Shastra. They know so many things from Shastra. But as we know from Lord Brahma in the Brahma Samhita, it is not simply by studying Shastra. Vedeshu Dalabam, very difficult to know. So, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, as we know, he was the first person who came to know about the arrival, the presence of Lord Chaitanya, who had fainted, as we know, in the Jagannath Puri temple after taking darshan of Lord Jagannath. And he ordered the priests to bring, because Lord Chaitanya became unconscious. And so he was taken to the residence of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And he remained unconscious until the devotees arrived. Whole big story there. They arrived after some time, and by the loud chanting of the holy name, Lord Chaitanya regained external consciousness. Yeah. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was thinking, oh, he's such a young sannyasi. Lord Chaitanya was 24 years old. So he was thinking, I will let me help this sannyasi, I will explain to him about Vedanta. And for 7 days, he spoke to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So much knowledge he had, so he explained so many things to Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya simply, he was sitting and listening, just hearing. It was like for 7 days, Shukadeva Goswami was speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. So after 7 days, Sarvabhauma Kacharya, he asked Lord Chaitanya, I've been speaking now for 7 days. And you're not asking any questions. You're not saying anything. I think maybe you don't understand what I'm talking. Then Lord Chaitanya replied that I have been listening very attentively to everything you have said. Yes. But I have heard your explanation of Vedanta. Actually, I know Vedanta, but I don't understand your explanation of Vedanta. Because being impersonalist, he did not have the full understanding of tattva. In our Vaishnava Siddhanta, one of the features, one of the tattvas is called Param Tattva. Mayavadis don't know what is Param Tattva. Param Tattva means Krishna. Yeah. So this is unknown. So this Lord Chaitanya was telling to Sarvabhauma that I understand clearly what is Vedanta, but I don't understand your explanation. And then, of course, Sarvabhauma Acharya was a little bit, taken aback, and Lord Chaitanya began to explain in detail. Yeah. So after Lord Chaitanya explained what actually is Vedanta, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a little bit humiliated because he's a big scholar. So he left, and then that night actually he had a dream. Mother Saraswati appeared to him that my dear Sarvabhauma, you think yourself such a great Pandit, but today you have been defeated by the greatest of all Pandits, Lord Chaitanya, who is non-different than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So you should surrender to him. So the next, yeah. Then this was Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya surrendered to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He got the vision of Sadbhuj, no? Sadbhuj.
Yes.
What is Sadbhuj?
Sadbhuj means Rama avatar and Krishna avatar and
Chaitanya.
Chaitanya.
Yeah. Six in one.
Yes, not shown to Sarvabhauma, shown to Ramananda.
Oh, Ramananda, yeah. Correct, yes. So he had the vision of, what is it? The goddess of learning, Saraswati. Yes. Yeah, Ramananda Roy.
On the bank of Godavari.
Yes. Okay. Jai Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki.
Yeah.
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki.
Yeah.
All the Pimanam.
Jai. Okay.